Hello, YouTube subscribers. Hello, Facebook, and hello, Michigan fans. This is Harry Bryant, back with a post-game video. The biggest game of the year was played at the Horseshoe between Michigan, which was 11-0, against OSU, which they was 11-0. This game had huge implications written all over it, because whoever would have won this game would have almost been guaranteed to secure a spot in the playoffs. Even if the winner didn't win the Big Ten championship game, the chances are they would still make it to the playoffs. So this game had huge implications, especially for Michigan. Consider what we did last year. We finally beat the Buckeyes at the Big House last year. That was a huge win. That was a win that Michigan needed the most. To shake off the 8-game losing streak by Ohio. This game was bigger because not only because of 2 versus 3, but it was because Michigan have not won at the Horseshoe since 2000. So Michigan needed to make a statement, because prior to this game, all I've been hearing these Buckeye fans were saying was last year was a fluke, or last year was a mirage. It never really happened. So they was in the state of denial since last year when Michigan finally beat Ohio at the Big House. All this talk I've been hearing leading towards this game, with them hiring this new defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles, that he's supposed to revamp their defense. Their defense supposed to stop the run. Their defense supposed to be a lot tougher and a lot physical. Now, I've been hearing all this stuff about these off-season moves and about Ryan Day and all this mess about, well, we're going to avenge what happened last year. We really going to pour it on you when they come to our house. And see, this is what these Buckeye fans were saying for all this time, that they was going to revenge what happened last year. They couldn't accept the fact that they lost. They couldn't accept the fact that they got beat up at the Big House last year. Then some of them was using the weather as an excuse. Well, it was snowing. It was windy that day. Our quarterback couldn't throw the ball because of the wind and blah, blah, blah. So they used the weather as an excuse. And here's what Ohio did. I don't know if anyone of y'all heard about it. And this was a week prior to the game. Why did I hear about Ohio went to hire the weatherman for NBC and Al Roker? They hired Al Roker to the Ohio staff, particularly for this game, I guess, to monitor the weather, to see what's the weather going to be a factor in the outcome of the game. So they went and hired Al Roker. Al Roker. You can't make this stuff up. And they hired another meteorologist from the Weather Channel. They hired 2 meteorologists for the weather. Like that was going to make a huge difference as far as if Michigan going to win or lose this game. That was an absolute joke for them to hire Al Roker. Well, no disrespect to Al Roker, and I know Al Roker going through something right now. He wasn't at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because of an illness, and I wish him the best, and I hope that whatever it is, that he'll bounce back from it and he'll be back on the air. But for them to hire Al Roker to monitor the weather, thinking that he was going to somehow miraculously make the weather, beneficial for them, was an absolute joke. So, like I said, that was an absolute joke. Just like the game, which just like the score was, as far as their score, it was an absolute joke because it was a butt beating. It was a butt whooping. But anyway, so going into the game, like I said, they were supposed to revamp the defense with Jim Knowles. The defense supposed to be a lot better than last year's defense. So, like I said, they blamed the weather last year and blah, blah, blah. But this year, this game, the weather was perfect. You couldn't ask for better football weather than the weather that it was there at the Horseshoe. It was sunny. The temperature was reasonable. It was like a little bit of wind, but it wasn't overpowering. It wasn't a wind that would affect your play. The weather was perfect as far as football-wise. So they can't use that excuse. Well, the weather was bad. It was snowing. It was raining. It was sleeting. Blah, 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 blah. They cannot use the weather because both teams had to play in the same conditions. So they could not use the weather as an excuse. So anyway, game started. I ain't going to sit there and lie to you. I was nervous. I was nervous prior to the game because of Blake Corum and his status leading towards the game. And we knew going in there that Blake Corum wasn't healthy. You know, he wasn't healthy enough to really be a factor in the game. And then you take a look at Donovan Edwards. He wore a cast on his arm, so it's hard for him to grip the ball. So we was actually two running backs, you know, well, not two, but we was down Blake Corum. He was the best one. He was our best running back that we had. He was our best offensive player. He was our best offensive player, and he wasn't even in the game. And I really thought, I ain't gonna lie, I really thought Michigan was doomed because we didn't have Blake Corum. Some of our stars, they did come back to play. They wasn't 100% healthy, like Donovan Edwards. He wasn't 100% healthy. I'm sure Luke Schoonmaker, our tight end, he wasn't 100% healthy. And, of course, you know, we had a few of our players, they was limping, you know, in the game, but they was determined to play. And Blake Corum was one of them. So the game started. JJ, he started slow, overthrowing receivers. He wasn't really confident in the first half of the game. But because of our defense kept the game close going into the half. I knew that when Michigan elected to defer to receive the ball in the second half, I'm like, yep, Michigan knows exactly what they're doing. So the score was, I think it was 17-14. Ohio was in the lead going into the half, I believe. Michigan, we know Michigan for making halftime adjustments. But they admitted that Michigan did not do any halftime adjustments, that they did not change the way they play from the first half, you know, leading towards the second half. So they did not make any halftime adjustments from what I've heard and read. And I thought they made halftime adjustments. But it didn't matter. Second half of the game, Michigan did what Michigan does. In the second half, we take control of the game. We dominate. This game was no exception. J.J. McCarthy, he started throwing that ball to his open targets. Balls being caught. Bam, 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 bam. So, J.J., he attempted 24 throws, completed 12 of them, total of 263 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. In the second half, that's what J.J. McCarthy did. And I was impressed. Let's talk about our running, our rushing, our ground game, which suffered because, like I said, Blake Corum was down. Donovan Edwards, in the first half, he mildly struggled. C.J. Stokes, he struggled. So we practically did not have a ground game in the first half. Most people would say that without a good ground game in Michigan, their running game is their bread and butter on their offense. There'll be no chance that Michigan will win this game. And I thought the same thing myself. But, boy, I was wrong. And I loved it. I was glad I was wrong. So, Donovan Edwards, 22 carries, 263 yards, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. And all that happened, I believe, in the fourth quarter when he scored those 2 touchdowns. And that will really put Michigan in a position to take control of the game. Like I said, Ohio, before the game started, they had all this pageantry They had all of this love, all of this support, all of this can't do wrong. Oh, Ohio State was favored, by the way. Even the Fox Saturday noon kickoff crew, five people was in charge. Even Urban Meyer. Why 4 out of 5 chose the Buckeyes to win? And only one person picked Michigan to win. And that one person that picked Michigan to win this game today was your Heisman winner and most beloved Michigan Wolverine, Charles Woodson. He was the only one that picked Michigan to beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe. But Urban Meyer, and the rest of those boys pick Ohio State. Even Joe Klatt, that was calling the game, I'm sure he thought Ohio State was going to win. And of course, Gus Johnson, we all know he's a Buckeye. I guess he thought Ohio State was going to roll over Michigan at the Horseshoe and they was going to play in Indy. Michigan had other plans for their so-called party that they were supposed to have, thinking that they was going to beat Michigan and thinking that they was going to celebrate, they was going to make plans, they was going to reserve their rooms at Indy, they was going to go to the Big Ten championship game, and they was going to win the championship in the Big Ten and go to the playoffs. See, that's what Ohio State thought. Because Michigan haven't won at the Horseshoe in over 21 seasons, 21 years, that Michigan have now won at the Horseshoe. So everybody thought that game was a lock, at least for them. They gave Ohio State a 7.5 point spread, or 7.5 points to beat Michigan. 7.5 points. So Michigan was underdogs, major underdogs. Even though Michigan was ranked number 3 prior to the game. Everybody thought Ohio State was going to have their way because they was at home. They was in front of their crowd with all the sea of scarlet and gray. Everybody thought that Ohio was going to win. So people was betting on Ohio State. And matter of fact, here's the funny part. When people make these bowl game predictions, why they have Ohio in the CFP and have Michigan playing in the Rose Bowl? So they practically thought that Michigan wasn't going to make it to the CFP. Well, like I said again, Michigan had other plans in place. Y'all can disrespect us, but y'all won't dismiss us. Y'all can try to do everything y'all can to try to devalue us and to try to devalue the way our team play. But at the end of the day, this team won, baby. This team won. And the other team down south, they lost. So funny how Ohio, every year during Hate Week, they take a red marker, red duct tape, and they put an X across the letter M. And everything that has the letter M, they'll take something red and they'll draw an X, or they will put an X on that M, thinking that was going to help them win. And in reality, the only thing they did, they got embarrassed at home in front of their fans. And now while they're thinking about the way they lost this game, they can go ahead and clean up that mess that they created. They can take all that dang on red down. Okay, the party's over. Michigan won. So you can go ahead and take all that red off the letter M's. Okay, it's over. Michigan won. We got another year of bragging rights. And we got another trip to Indianapolis to play for another Big Ten championship against Purdue. So Purdue is going to be our opponent. So I want to say congratulations to the Purdue Boilermakers for them winning the West. Iowa lost yesterday because it was a three-way tie between Illinois, Iowa, and Purdue. And only one of those teams can go through. So Purdue did enough to make it out of the West, so they become Big Ten West champions. So once again, congratulations to Purdue Boilermakers for them winning the West. So now we play them next Saturday, conference championship week. So Michigan got another game to play, and we have maybe a day or so to just appreciate this win that Michigan achieved. This was a momentous win because Michigan have now won at the Horseshoe in over 20-some seasons. And now Michigan broke that streak too. So I don't want to hear nothing from no Buckeye fans about the weather, about the refs, about the officiating. I don't want to hear nothing because Michigan played at their home. It wasn't at home with us. It wasn't at our house. It was at their house that they got their butt spanked by 3 scores. Three scores. The final score, Michigan 45, OSU 23 was the final score. I can imagine all the Buckeye fans and what they're doing right now. I bet they get drunk right now in Columbus. I bet all the so-called Buckeyes, people that's working in these sports media networks like ESPN, CBS Sports, I bet right now they are depressed. And you know what? As a Michigan fan, I love every minute of it. So, another year of bragging rights, baby. Hail to the victors. So, a good win, a huge win, a team-defining win. And now, the only thing Michigan need to do, because we know who we going to play this coming Saturday in Indianapolis. Now, the only thing Michigan is going to do is just await till Tuesday when the CFP comes out with their rankings. I think they're going to have Michigan at number 2 because we did beat Ohio. They was number 2. Michigan was number 3. We beat the Buckeyes by 3 scores. It was a butt whooping. It wasn't even close. So they got to put Michigan at number 2. I think Ohio going to fall all the way probably down to 5 or 6. But who cares? As long as we as Michigan have an opportunity to cement ourselves in that 14 playoff scenario. And I think Michigan did that. So I've been smiling ever since the game was over. Even while I was at work, I was smiling. And I'm still smiling right now. What a win. What a win. What a win. It's all about this. It's all about this, baby. It's all about this. Doubt us if you want to. Doubt us at your own risk. ESPN, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, and any other news or sports analyst, journalist, voters, posters that wants to doubt us. Doubt us at your own risk. Now, I'm done. If you like my video, hit the notification. If you love my videos and you want to help see my channel grow, please share the video. Hit the like because that's going to help me. That's going to help my channel grow. And like I said, this is huge. Huge win. Nice win for the Michigan fan base. Now we got another year of bragging rights. We got another year to take control of the Big Ten. Now we just got to take care of business on Saturday against Purdue Boilermakers. And Purdue is not going to be a pushover. So I'm just hoping that Michigan will not have a letdown because of this huge win that Michigan has. So that's the last thing Michigan needs is to have a letdown at the Big Ten title game. So until then, hail to the victors. This is Harry Bryant signing off. Go Blue. Peace out. Good night.